Well, hello. This is Dr. McIntosh here, College Prep 101. I hope you're doing well. As we are continuing to pave the way forward along the lines for your education achievement, I want to make you aware of an important skill that you can apply to your reading when you are in college and even in high school. And so we know that reading is a fundamental, and in order for us to be successful, we must ensure that we are proficient readers. As well as being a proficient reader, we know that we're needing to comprehend the information that we are reading. And so I want to talk to you this week about text structures. T-E-X-T structure, S-T-R-U-C-T-U-R-E-S, text structures. The way that a text is structured, meaning the way that it is written, there is a purpose. And so it's very important for you to understand the reason as to why a text is structured in the way that it is, because that's going to shape your understanding on how you process the information that you're reading and how you're able to then recall that information through memorization, through note-taking and other measures to ensure that you get the maximum knowledge that you're needing to move forward. So if it's for a class or even if it's for leisure reading, I want to make you aware that text structures are truly important. What are some common examples of text structures? Number one, main idea. Okay, understanding that each paragraph typically has one main idea. And so you're wanting to be able to read each paragraph on each page that you're reading, you want to make sure that you are pulling out that main idea. That's what is this paragraph going to be about. Now, as we've spoken about in previous weeks, when we're talking about the heading that's found before the paragraphs for a specific passage or a chapter in a book, you typically will have that title. That's going to inform you as the reader, but also know that too, those main ideas will be found typically generally around the first or second sentence in each paragraph that's going to make up the larger whole in a subset or a passage or a chapter, okay, which is inside of a book. Knowing that your main idea is going to help inform you of what you're about to read, and then you're able to process when you refer back to with the margins that you place notes when you annotate, you'll be able to refer back to gather some information, but that's going to shape your understanding and your comprehension. Secondly, cause and effect. Many times, whether we're in science, whether we are in humanities courses, nevertheless, cause and effect is going to also help shape your understanding as to why significant events have happened. If we're even talking about history and looking at perhaps, for example, the American Revolution, what were some of those causes of the Great Britain's control over colonists and the disputes and things of that nature? We're knowing the certain causes that we're reading and the effects. And so we want to know that the facts, we want to get the facts, and we want to know why an event has happened, and then because an event has happened, what was the cause of that? So your cause and your effect. This happened, and this was the effect. A and B, cause and effect. Then also knowing comparing and contrasting. Maybe you're wanting to compare two wars. Maybe you're wanting to compare the events that took place in the aftermath of the American Revolution, and then turn around and say, for the Civil War, what were some of the cause and effects? Were there any alignment? Was there anything that was congruent? What were those differences? Okay. Sometimes we also look at historical figures. Perhaps as we are talking about with Black History Month, some of the highlights figures, if you will, that come up as Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And so we compare them with Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. They have two different distinctive patterns of leadership, but nevertheless, some of their actions have some similarities, but their approaches are different. And so we could perhaps utilize a Venn diagram where we're comparing various circles with distinct differences out on the circle part that does not overlap. And then within the interior, where there is an overlap in a Venn diagram, we talk about the similarities that are found within both historical figures. And so those three elements are going to help shape your understanding because they align with a text structure. That is the author's intended purpose, to really be able to present the information that you're going to read so that you're able to then read, take it in, comprehend, and be able to utilize that knowledge that you've gained through your reading at a later time. It might be to write a paper, it could be to study for an exam, but no matter what, know that there's a structure behind each passage that you're reading, and that's known as the text structure. The way a book, the way a chapter, a journal article, or a piece of reading is constructed. Once again, this is College Prep 101. I hope you're doing well. Please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or comments. The best is yet to come. Take care.